The Chrysler Pentastar 3.6 V6 isn't just another engine, it's an engineering marvel hiding some seriously bizarre secrets. From disastrous early failures and early quirks like the cylinder number 2 curse, rocker arm failures, and leftover sand in coolant passages, it earned a reputation for unpredictability. But Chrysler's 16 million-mile testing program forged a durable workhorse capable of 626,000 miles. Add platinum spark plugs, e-torque, mild hybrid boosts, and award-winning performance, and you've got one of the most fascinating and weirdest modern engines ever built. This video is packed with 20 of the strangest facts about the engine that powers everything from minivans to muscle cars. Hit that subscribe button right away and hype if you loved this video so far. The Great Consolidation of 2011. Back in 2011, Chrysler pulled off one of the boldest engineering shakeups in its history. They retired 7 different V6 engine families and replaced them all with one brand new design, the Pentastar 3.6. Imagine the chaos before. Different engines needing their own unique parts, tooling, and manufacturing setups. The financial crisis left Chrysler desperate for efficiency, and this new engine became their one ring to rule them all. But it wasn't just about saving money. The Pentastar was engineered as a modular workhorse with a 60-degree aluminum block that could fit anything: front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, or even four-wheel drive. The genius was in its layout. The intake manifold simply swapped sides depending on orientation, while everything inside stayed the same. This move saved Chrysler millions and made life easier for mechanics, who now had one engine to master instead of 7. The cylinder number 2 curse. The Pentastar's early years weren't smooth sailing. Between 2011 and 2013, owners started reporting strange issues: ticking noises, check engine lights, and sudden misfires. The suspect? A flaw so common it earned a nickname, the cylinder number 2 curse. Here's what was happening. The left cylinder head's number 2 cylinder was prone to overheating around the valve seat. That heat caused excessive wear, especially under certain driving conditions or when running lower quality fuel. At first it sounded like a harmless tick, but it eventually escalated into compression loss, brutal misfires, and in many cases, complete failure of that cylinder. The problem hit about 0.5 to 1% of all Pentastars from those years. That may sound small, but across millions of vehicles, it meant thousands of angry customers. Chrysler never issued a recall, but they did quietly extend the warranty to 10 years, 150,000 miles, and redesigned the heads in 2012 with tougher valve guides and seats. The rocker arm Russian roulette. Just when Pentastar owners thought they were done with cylinder head headaches, another problem showed up, and it was nasty. The rocker arms, which rely on tiny roller bearings, started failing left and right. When these bearings gave out, the rocker arm would basically fall apart from the inside. Mechanics quickly caught on and even came up with a quick trick called the JT feel test. They'd grab each rocker by hand, and if it moved when it wasn't supposed to, bingo, you'd found the bad one. The failure created a ticking sound that only got louder with RPMs, sometimes leading to engine misfires. The weirdest part? A broken rocker could still look fine if the cam lobe was sitting in the wrong position. It's like a game of mechanical hide-and-seek. The million-mile development marathon. Chrysler wasn't about to repeat past mistakes with the Pentastar. Determined to make it bulletproof, engineers put the engine through the most extreme testing program in company history. We're talking over 12 million miles on engine dynos, plus another 4 million miles in actual vehicles. Out on the road, test cars were hammered with everything from salty winter conditions to real-world abuse patterns. This marathon of testing made the Pentastar fundamentally tough, even if some early bugs slipped through. Properly cared for, many easily push past 200,000 miles. But here's the funny part. Despite all that grueling testing, Chrysler completely missed the sandcasting debris problem that clogged cooling systems. The sandy saboteur. Here's a weird one. Some Pentastar engines literally had leftover sand inside them from the factory. Sounds crazy, right? But here's what happened. Chrysler used a sandcasting process to make the engine blocks and heads. Normally, once the molten aluminum cools, all that sand is supposed to be cleaned out. But in some engines, cleanup wasn't thorough. That meant grains of sand stayed lodged inside the coolant passages. Over time, that sand would break loose. Radiators, heater cores, and water pumps would clog up, leading to overheating and even coolant leaks. It got so bad that a class action lawsuit was filed because people kept replacing cooling system parts over and over. The fix is almost laughably simple: regular coolant flushes. Some clever mechanics even install aftermarket filters, basically giving the Pentastar its own little water purifier. The cam lobe lottery. Just when Chrysler thought the Pentastar's valve train problems were solved, a new issue popped up: worn-out cam lobes. The trouble showed up in engines with Chrysler's variable valve lift system, which was supposed to improve power and fuel efficiency. The system lets the engine switch between low-lift and high-lift cam profiles depending on demand. But here's the catch. In high-lift mode, the intake cam lobes face extra stress. For drivers who like to push their engines hard or enthusiasts in performance vehicles, that stress leads to accelerated wear. Once the lobes start to grind down, you're looking at metal-on-metal contact, and that can take out the entire valve train. The Great Compression Ratio Revolution. In 2016, Chrysler gave the Pentastar a major upgrade by raising its compression ratio from 10.2:1 to 11.3:1. That may sound like a small bump, but it made a big difference. The idea was simple: squeeze the air-fuel mix harder and you get more power and better fuel economy. Even the fuel injectors were upgraded from 4-hole to 8-hole designs for better atomization. The result? Power increased from 290 to 295 horsepower, torque at low RPMs jumped nearly 15%, and fuel economy improved by about 6%. Here's the best part. Despite the higher compression, the engine still runs on regular 87-octane fuel. It's like having a sports car that drinks the cheap stuff from your corner gas station. The modular masterpiece. One of the coolest things about the Pentastar is how flexible it is. Engineers built it from the ground up as a modular platform, so it could slot into just about any vehicle Chrysler made without major redesigns. Instead of reinventing the wheel for every new model, they just made a few external tweaks, and the same core engine worked across the board. The secret is its 60-degree V6 layout and compact aluminum block. Depending on how it's mounted, the intake manifold simply flips sides, and the alternator can move around, but inside, it's all identical. The everything engine. If there's one phrase that sums up the Pentastar, it's this: the everything engine. Once Chrysler nailed its modular design, they put it in, well, everything. This engine showed up in minivans, off-road SUVs, muscle cars, and even commercial vans. On the other end of the spectrum, tuned versions were dropped into Dodge Challengers and Chargers. All of them used essentially the same heart, just with minor tweaks to fit the role. That kind of versatility is rare. Not many engines can move a 7,000-pound minivan one day and then deliver performance thrills in a muscle car the next. The Platinum Spark Plug pioneers. When Chrysler rolled out the Pentastar, they didn't cut corners on ignition parts. Instead of remaining with the standard copper or silver spark plugs that most engines used at the time, they equipped the Pentastar with platinum-tipped plugs. These were designed to last up to 100,000 miles, which was pretty ambitious. Platinum resists wear really well, meaning the spark stays strong and consistent much longer than on cheaper plugs. Chrysler also paired these with unique 8-hole ignition coils. Instead of firing just one spark, the coil creates multiple spark points, which helps the engine burn fuel more completely. That made cold starts smoother and cut down emissions compared to older designs. The catch? Those 100,000 miles were a little optimistic. Many drivers noticed performance drop-offs closer to 60 to 80,000 miles. Still, Chrysler gave the Pentastar a setup you'd normally expect in a luxury car. Think champagne service at house wine prices until replacement time. The variable everything philosophy. The Pentastar's engineers took the idea of variable to the next level. They gave it variable valve lift, variable valve timing, and a broad operating range so it could adjust to almost any driving condition. Early on, emissions laws and fuel economy rules were tightening, so Chrysler needed something smarter than a one-size-fits-all valve system. The two-step valve lift system lets the engine breathe lightly when you're just cruising, cutting down on wasted energy by reducing pumping losses by nearly 3%. But stomp the gas, and it instantly shifts into high lift mode, letting in maximum air for maximum power. In 2016, Chrysler expanded the variable valve timing authority from 50 to 70 degrees, which improved cold starts, boosted stop-start functionality, and bumped fuel economy by about 6%. The oil pump revolution. One of the smartest efficiency tricks inside the Pentastar has nothing to do with air or spark. It's the oil pump. Traditional engines use a fixed displacement oil pump, which is like running a faucet at full blast even when you just need a trickle. That wastes energy. Chrysler's engineers ditched that approach and designed a variable displacement oil pump. Using a solenoid-controlled system, the pump can actually change its output depending on what the engine needs at any given moment. At low RPMs or light throttle, it dials back the pressure to save energy. But when you're accelerating hard or revving high, it ramps up instantly to keep everything lubricated. The whole process is monitored and adjusted in real time by the engine control module. The payoff? Better fuel economy and less wasted power? Think of it like a smart faucet. Just enough flow for brushing your teeth, full blast when you need to fill a bucket. The integrated manifold marvel. Here's a quirky twist. On the Pentastar 3.6, the exhaust manifold isn't actually a separate piece. Instead, Chrysler cast it right into the cylinder head itself. That's pretty unusual because most engines bolt the manifold on afterward, which takes up more space and creates extra spots for leaks. By merging it into the head, Chrysler eliminated the gasket joint that normally causes headaches. It also helps the engine warm up the catalytic converters faster, which cuts emissions. The setup is lighter, simpler, and neater under the hood. But here's the catch. If those exhaust passages ever fail, you can't just swap the manifold. You're pulling the entire cylinder head. So it's brilliant, but kind of risky. Chrysler basically turned the head into a Swiss Army knife. One part that does the job of two. The persistent Pentastar tick. If you've been around Pentastar owners, you've probably heard about the tick. It's this rhythmic tapping sound from the top of the engine that's become a trademark of sorts. Some ticks are harmless, just the fuel injectors doing their job. Others, not so friendly. They can come from worn rocker arms, lifters, or even a stretched timing chain. The funny part is, every Pentastar tick has its own personality. Some sound steady and metallic, others rise and fall with the RPM, and over time, they can get louder if there's a real issue. The problem is figuring out if it's normal or if your engine's trying to tell you something important. For new owners, it's nerve-wracking. But longtime Pentastar drivers, they've trained their ears like expert mechanics, the power plant specifications. One of the coolest things about the Pentastar is how versatile it is. Depending on where it's used, power can range from around 285 horsepower all the way up to 305 horsepower with 269 pound-feet of torque. That's a wide spread, and here's the deal. It's the same engine underneath. Chrysler didn't reinvent the wheel each time. They just adjusted tuning, intake setups, and exhaust systems to suit different vehicles. Variable valve timing and lift systems do the heavy lifting, making the engine flexible enough to power everything from a Chrysler Pacifica minivan to a Dodge Challenger. That means one engine family can tow, cruise, or even shred tires, depending on how it's programmed. And that's rare in the auto world. The high-mileage heroes. The Pentastar 3.6 may have gotten some heat early on for reliability issues, but over time, it's proven it can go the distance. And then some. There are owners out there who've taken their Pentastars past 500,000 miles, with one Jeep Wrangler famously clocking 626,000 miles on its original engine. That Jeep became a bit of a legend in online forums, a real-life case study showing what's possible when you keep up with maintenance. The common theme in these high-mileage success stories? Meticulous care. We're talking oil changes every 5,000 miles, keeping an eye on the cooling system, and fixing little issues before they snowball. Engines that get this kind of attention often show surprisingly little internal wear. So, while neglected Pentastars may fail young, the well-loved ones prove this design is far more durable than many gave it credit for. Early flaws didn't define its story. The sand strikes back. Here's one of the weirdest quirks of the Pentastar, the sand casting issue. You'd think this was only a new engine problem, but nope, it's more like a time bomb. Years after rolling off the lot, owners suddenly find themselves battling cascading cooling failures. The reason? Microscopic grains of casting sand that never fully flushed out during manufacturing. For a while, they just circulate harmlessly. But over time, they collect inside radiator tubes, heater cores, and even the water pump. After enough heat cycles, those deposits can shift, break loose, and block flow exactly where you don't want them. That's when you see the chain reaction. First a radiator, then a heater core, then the water pump, all failing one after another. It's especially rough for secondhand buyers who never knew the problem was lurking. The mild hybrid evolution. The Pentastar didn't stay frozen in time. As fuel economy rules tightened and electrification became the big trend, FCA found a clever way to update the engine without throwing it out entirely. Enter e-torque, a mild hybrid system that gave the Pentastar an extra jolt of modern efficiency. Instead of a normal alternator, e-torque uses a 48-volt motor generator paired with a small lithium-ion battery. That setup powers seamless stop-starts, smooths out gear shifts, and even provides up to 90 pound-feet of torque when the engine kicks back in. It also harvests energy during deceleration, so nothing goes to waste. The coolest part? Drivers barely notice it working, aside from smoother operation and better mileage, up to 18% better in the city. The Pentastar basically got its own electric superpowers without losing its gasoline heart, the unified platform philosophy. The Pentastar isn't just a one-trick pony, it's a master of adaptation. Chrysler took the same 3.6-liter block and proved it could handle everything from standard gasoline duty to hybrid setups. Instead of designing a completely new engine for electrified cars, they leaned on the Pentastar's solid architecture, tweaking only what was necessary for hybrids. For example, the Pacifica hybrid still uses the same aluminum block and cylinder heads as a regular 3.6, but it switches to the Atkinson cycle for better efficiency. Add the e-torque system, and suddenly the same engine can support mild hybrid tech with just a few external components. This clever approach meant FCA could enter the hybrid market without massive R&D costs, use existing factories, and keep training simple for mechanics. Legacy of Pentastar. The Chrysler Pentastar 3.6 V6 stands as one of the most complex and contradictory engines of the modern era. It's simultaneously an engineering triumph and a cautionary tale. A Ward's 10 Best winner and a form complaint generator, a 626,000-mile marathon runner, and a 30,000-mile failure case. These conflicts don't represent flaws in the design philosophy. They reflect the incredible complexity of modern automotive engineering, where a single engine must satisfy dozens of applications, millions of drivers, and constantly evolving regulations. What makes the Pentastar truly fascinating isn't its perfection. It's its persistence in the face of early disasters, its evolution through successive generations, and its ultimate vindication as a fundamentally sound design that was simply rushed to market before all the kinks were worked out. Like any complex relationship, the Pentastar reveals its true character over time, rewarding those who understand its quirks while punishing those who ignore its needs. Curious which Pentastar fact blew your mind the most? Drop a comment with the wildest detail that caught your attention and share experiences with this legendary V6. Every tick, every quirky design choice, and every high-mileage story sparks conversation. Smash that subscribe button to stay in the loop on engine deep dives, automotive myths, and the hidden tech behind everyday vehicles. Don't miss future breakdowns of iconic engines, strange mechanical quirks, and untold car stories. Join the community, engage with the discussion, and keep discovering why engines like the Pentastar keep the auto world turning, literally and figuratively.